Hello, my name is Karen Munyai. Welcome to Young Africa LifeSkills session. Today we are looking at the topic sex and relationship. Our inspiration comes from Enya's Nin, who highlights that only the united beat of heart and sex is able to create ecstasy. What are the objectives of this session? In this lesson, you will learn to feel comfortable talking about sex. In this lesson, you are going to learn different kinds of relationships. In this lesson, you're going to learn to respect your body and your feelings and those of your partner. In this lesson, you're going to learn to describe healthy relationships and decide when you are ready to have sex. Is it easy for you to freely discuss about sex? Whom do you discuss with about sex? Have you ever discussed with your parents about sex? It is very difficult to discuss about sex, isn't it? Before we proceed, I want us to get into an activity. I want you to write down words that explain sex, sexual activities, and body parts. Afterwards, I want you to connect these words to words that express their feelings. For instance, a word may be expressing disrespect or love or even a clinical term, and then you come back. Welcome back. Did you manage to come up with words that state sex, sexual activities, and body parts? Did you manage to come up with words that express the feelings to those words? We now want to proceed with our session. I want to tell you a story about 4 girls. There were 4 girls. These 4 girls had a special friend of theirs whom they loved, they liked, and respected. They trusted this friend so much. At one point, they decided to buy this special friend a present. This special friend was a male friend. The 4 friends decided that this present had to be something that is not very special, neither could it be expensive, but it just had to show appreciation for the special friend. So they bought a balloon for the friend. The first girl went with a balloon to the special friend. The special friend was very happy to receive the balloon. He got time to admire the present and value the balloon. The second girl went to the present or the balloon to the special male friend. However, while she was handing the special present or the balloon to the male friend, it burst by accident. The third girl went with the present to the male friend. The male friend appreciated the gift. However, he was misleading because as soon as the girl turned, he destroyed the balloon. The fourth girl was not ready to give the balloon to the male friend. She was just holding the balloon, and the male friend came and grabbed that balloon. He pushed that girl aggressively, and the balloon burst out accidentally. What does this symbolize? What does this represent? The balloon represents your soul and your mind. It represents it when one has sex in a relationship. The first scenario represents a person or individuals who have sex when they are ready to do so, who trust each other. When people have sex when they are ready and they are trusting each other, it is a beautiful experience. The second scenario represents people who have sex when they are not ready to do so. Being ready to have sex does not mean that it is the right time to do so, because it comes with consequences such as sexually transmitted infections, unwanted pregnancies. The third scenario represents people who are misleading us. People can go to the extreme pretending that they love us, they care for us, yet they only have a goal of sleeping with you. So you have got to be careful of some people because they only have the intentions of sleeping with you. The fourth girl represents rape, whereby a balloon is forcefully taken or whereby a girl is pushed aggressively and the balloon bursts by accident. What are healthy and what are unhealthy relationships? As we highlighted in the previous session when we discussed about true love, healthy relationships include love, respect for each other, fairness, honesty, truth. Unhealthy relationships are relationships that have no trust. There is obsession in that relationship. There's no respect for each other. At times there is physical violence, and there is forcing another person to have sex with you. What is your view about homosexuality or bisexuality? Some people consider it to be abnormal, unhealthy, and a disease. Some countries forbid homosexuality relationships, yet most Western countries permit it. Same-sex people or people of the same sex can actually get married in most Western countries. If you are having these kind of feelings and you feel you need to talk to someone, you can go to a private counselor. For instance, here in Zimbabwe, we've got or Connect, the organization which offers counseling. It can assist you and counsel you on the issue. We now want to get into an activity, and I want you to respond to these questions. Does sex equal love? What do you think of sex before marriage? When are you ready to have sex? And when do you know if you are ready to have sex? Welcome back. How was the activity? Have you discussed with your peer? Sex and love are two different things. Just as we learned in the earlier topic on true love, we learned that love does not only consist of sex or eros. We learned that love has got to consist of different forms of love, such as philia, agape. You've got to have unconditional love for your partner, not only concentrate on eros or sex. Some people prefer not to have sex before marriage because they believe in that. Also because they want to protect themselves from unintended pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections. At the same time, some people prefer to have sex before marriage. When somebody wants to have sex before marriage, they've got to make sure that it is the right time and they're prepared for it. Not only themselves, they've also got to make sure that their partner is also ready to have sex. It is not encouraged to force the other person to have sex with you when they are not ready. And when you think of having sex before marriage, you've got to consider such things as unintended pregnancies and STIs. We have now come to the end of this session. What have you learned from this session? Has this lesson changed your mind on sexual relationships? Before we go, I want you to recite this affirmation with me. I cherish my body. I treat it with respect. It is right to demand that my partner does the same. I give the same respect to my partner.